Empire State Building, construction completed. The United Kingdom abandons the gold standard. Clyde Edward Pangborn and Hugh Herndon Jr. complete the first non-stop flight from Japan across the Pacific Ocean to Washington State. The year is 1931, and this fine example of a car was on offer at Chrysler. But before getting into all of it, I'm Jay. Welcome to What It's Like, the automotive channel that covers cars not often talked about. We cover the classics, vintage, some appliances. We dive in deep on history, specs, and design of these rolling works of art. If that sounds of interest, a channel that you would totally dig, subscribe and hit the bell icon next to it to never miss a video. I found this Chrysler CM was part of the Old Car Festival, which is a pre-war car show at the Greenfield Village in Dearborn, Michigan, right next to the Henry Ford. All of the cars are before 1932, unmodified, and they drive them around in the streets. Not only that, they're in a period correct town. Lots of people dressed period correct. So it's almost like going back in time for a weekend, which was really great. I honestly can't say enough good things about that car show, and honestly, it's probably my favorite car show this side of the Mississippi. It's honestly what the car hobby should be about. It should be about sharing your rides and experiences with everybody, and that's what that show is. You can experience those cars for what they were. A lot of people will say that those cars are going away, but that's not true. People are still keeping them, and I saw lots of kids, people younger than me, driving cars older than both of us. For those that may have never heard of the Greenfield Village, this is what it is. Henry Ford, you could think whatever you want of the guy, but he saw that what was happening to stuff, it was just getting destroyed and lost to time. So he decided to save a couple things. The village is almost 100 buildings on 200 acres. Most of the buildings are the actual buildings, like the Wright Brothers bicycle shop. 1931 Chrysler model lineup. But before getting into all of that, for those that don't know, Chrysler was founded in 1925 by Walter P. Chrysler. Walter was hired at Maxwell, which was founded in 1904 in North Tarrytown, New York by Jonathan Dixon Maxwell. Maxwell was one of the first companies to market to women specifically, and hired women to work in their dealership showrooms. Maxwell was priced competitively with Ford and Oldsmobile. Maxwell overproduced during World War II, and there was a 1920 recession. So around 1921, Walter P. Chrysler had controlling interest in Maxwell Motors. So let's stop right there. We have to talk about another company, Chalmers Motor Car Company, which was founded in 1908. By Hugh Chalmers. Chalmers was known for making high-end vehicles. Chalmers would peak in 1911, becoming the 8th largest automotive producer in the USA. After 1911, competition got fierce. Hugh Chalmers launched another automotive brand to attract buyers at a lower price point, Saxon Motor Car Company, which was in Detroit, Michigan, and built cars from 1913 to 1922 when it went bankrupt. Anyway, timing is everything. Chalmers merged with Maxwell in 1922. Walter P. Chrysler was in charge of Maxwell. When Walter P. Chrysler had the controlling stake in the company, he made himself chairman, and he would reincorporate in West Virginia. Late 1923, Walter dropped Chalmers. It's important to note, Maxwell didn't have the best quality of product at this point in time, so Walter P. Chrysler's Maxwells were marketed as the good Maxwell. In 1924, Walter P. launched Chrysler Automobile, which was really well received. Called the Chrysler 6, the car was advanced at the time, well engineered, and could be had at an affordable price point. The Chrysler prototype can trace its roots back to Willis when Chrysler was there. Chrysler 6 featured carburetor air filter. Most cars didn't have air filters, high compression for the time, full pressurized oil lubrication, and oil filter. Chrysler was a pioneer of four-wheel hydraulic brakes produced by Lockheed. Rubber engine mounts called floating power, which reduced engine vibration felt on the chassis. Chrysler also invented a wheel with a ridged rim, which kept deflated tires from coming off, which would be adopted industry-wide. Maxwell brand was dropped in 1925. Chrysler would introduce a four-cylinder model in 1926, which was more or less a rebadged Maxwell. 1931 Chrysler model lineup. 66 series, which rides a wheelbase of 112 3/4 inches. followed by the 70 series, which rides a wheelbase of 116.5 inches, followed by the 6 Series CM, which I couldn't find a wheelbase configuration for this one. I think that it rides the wheelbase of 112 3/4, and you'll see why when we get in it. It's a very tight car. That's our featured car. 6 Series CJ, which rides a wheelbase of 116 inches, followed by the 8 Series CD, which rides a wheelbase of 124 inches, followed by the Deluxe 8 Series CD, which rode the same 124 inches. At the top was the Imperial 8 Series CG, which rides the biggest, the longest wheelbase of 145 inches. Chrysler offered the Series CM from 1931 to 1932, and it could be had as a roadster, phaeton, business coupe, rumble seat coupe, club coupe, and sedan. Let's talk specs. Riding a wheelbase, this is a total guess. This is a total estimate of 112 3/4 inches. It weighs 2,565 pounds. Price, $885, which is equivalent to you spending $17,876.18 in the year 2023. 1931 Chrysler production was 65,500. Total CM was 38,817 units, of which our car is the Sports Roadster. They made 2,281 units. Moving on to engine, only one engine on offer, 217.8 cubic inch displacement, flathead 6, 3.6 liters. It's good for 78 horsepower, 3,400 RPM, an estimated 120 pound-feet of torque at 1,800 RPM with a bore of 3.3 inches and a stroke of 4.3 inches. Compression was 5.35 to 1, 7 main bearings, built of cast iron. It is coupled with a 3-speed floor shifter. So just look at all of everything that is going on. Notice it's 2 bars connected by these here in the center. Just look at how it's mounted to the front. Also check out the accessory lights, horns, lights. Look how massive these lights are. I absolutely love the orange pinstriping this car has. Just look at how this is raised. Look at how these lights are mounted to the fender and then to the grille. That is one fancy grille. I love that it comes to a point here in the center. And coming up to the Chrysler badge, just look at all of the different textures and levels in this design. Just wow. Just look at all this. Notice the bead continues as it comes down. Also just look at how the side mounts are mounted in the catwalk region. Look at this. It's got a nice bright hinge. It's cowl accent trim. This car has 2 cowl vents. Look at the pinstriping. Very tiny windshield. Wing windows, cowl lights. The mirrors are mounted to the side mounts, and this one has 2 side mounts. Just look at these wire wheels, orange. Also notice how the side mount is attached. There's a key so that nobody could from the street could come up and steal your side mount, which is a really cool feature. And it has these leather straps at the top. These running boards are pretty wide. Here's my foot for reference. And then it tapers back into the body as it comes back. Look at the Chrysler plate. This is a luggage rack for extra luggage. Just look at the pinstriping. It's got this small, it's ever so slightly raised. And it kicks out the back. Just look at all of everything that's going on with this rear design. I love the layers. I love how this is raised and the pinstriping just adds to it. Tail lights. Gas goes in there. Car has a trunk. The bumpers don't quite match the front. There isn't a center bar. Notice the half moons or the crescent moons. It's a really cool touch.
There's one guy, he's been here every year. He's always been here, but he has like 20 people hanging on the truck. And we saw him.
Step there and a step there to get into the rumble seat compartment. Over on this side, this is a air compressor. It's got a 10-foot hose, so if you ever had a problem, you could pump your tires up on the go. Door handle to get in.
Well, there is clubs, and sometimes you have to make them, but not very often. Really.
It's got map pockets. Notice there isn't an armrest on the door. The armrest is up here. Door handle to get out. See how it operates. Just look at getting inside. How much space there is between here and there. There's my hand for reference. It's pretty tight. Coming down inside the pedal box, clutch, brake, gas pedal, starter. Just take a look at this interior. Notice this car does not have windows. So I want to show you how hard it is to get in this.
I don't know about that. It looks pretty darn good. But I thought it would.
Oh, it's tight. So here's what over the hood looks like. Here's what first person over the hood looks like.
It doesn't look right though.
That looks awesome. On to the button switches and knobs. Starting on the left and moving right. Key. Freewheeling. Push that in to activate it. And from my understanding, it disconnects the engine from the rest of the system. For instance, when you're in gear, there is always engine braking. Freewheeling moves the car freely without engine braking. Hand choke. I think the small toggle switches for the panel lights. Coolant temperature, oil pressure, headlights, the actual panel lights, which there are 2 of. Speedometer with odometer and tripometer, gasoline gauge, amp meter, hand throttle, heater control.
I think we're at number 30.
Up above you have windshield wipers. There's a rear view mirror with a clock inside of it, and the wind it's over there. That's super cool. Another windshield wiper over there. Just take a look at this headliner. There's wood here in the center as well as wood over there. This has a real glass window in the back, and that's what visibility looks like out looking at the mother-in-law suite. This seat is so nice, very plushy. It's very comfortable in here.
I want to watch.
Down here you have the heater. You can put these vents wherever you would like. So check out this flathead 6. Notice, look, it has an air cleaner on it. That's pretty not common for this time period. Updraft carburetor, fuel filter, and pump. It's got the horn on the kind of sort of on the other side. You can see the oil filter over there. Notice it's not inside the block. And the coil.
Over there, up by the garbage can.
Just look, you can get to everything. There's a steering shaft, oil filter, coil, generator, horn. There's a light too.
Yeah. Yep.
Hi, Jay!
What's up? I said smooth as you were going by. On the positive side, this is a spectacular car for its price point back in the day, which was almost $18,000 equivalent in today's money. Honestly, don't think there is a modern equivalent. 4-wheel hydraulic brakes. I personally love the design work on these. The tricolor, yellow, black, and orange pinstriping, it just works. That grille is a work of art. 6-cylinder, might get decent fuel economy. Full gauge instrumentation. Excellent over the hood view. These kind of sort of resemble baby Allburns in my opinion. Against it, parts may be hard to get. These aren't terribly fast, like 4550 is like its happy place. This body design isn't tall or big person friendly. It's super tight. All right, now it's time for Would You Rather. 2 scenarios today. These may or may not be in the same price point. But anyway, would you rather have a 1931 Hudson Great 8 or a 1931 Chrysler CM or a 1931 Studebaker? I'm going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. On to the second scenario. Would you rather have a 1931 Oldsmobile or 1931 Chrysler or 1931 Grand Page? Once again, going to leave this here for a minute. Need more time, feel free, pause the video. Now it's time for Name That Tune. First person get both the name of the band and the song title correctly in the comment section will have their comment pinned to the top of it. Thank you all so much for coming out and watching this. If you'd like to get in touch with me, shoot me a comment in the comment section below, or check out our Facebook group that correlates with this YouTube channel I call The After Party. It gives you the opportunity to share your rides, stories, experiences. Anything car related will fly on there. If you don't have Facebook and would like to reach me, send me an email, all of which will be linked in the description below. Just know I appreciate, I really and truly do. I love reading the stories. I love reading the comments. I even love reading the criticisms and what things I can work on. Until next time, toodaloo! There was something about you, baby, so right. I couldn't leave without you, baby.